Let me tell you something most men learn the hard way. You don't win a woman by chasing harder, by texting faster, or by saying everything she wants to hear. You stand out and you stay unforgettable by being calm. Not fake chill, not passive indifference, but real, grounded calm. The kind that says, I'm at peace, with or without you. Most men are emotionally reactive. They overthink, overtalk, overexplain. And women? They see right through it. They can read your energy before you even say a word. But when you walk into a room with presence, when your emotions don't jump at every shift, when you speak less but mean more, something shifts in her too. She starts watching, wondering, wanting. That's when you stop chasing, and she starts thinking about you even when you're not around. Today, we're breaking down why this kind of calmness, this masculine stillness is magnetic, and more importantly, how you can develop it. Not just to attract her, but to reclaim your own power. Let's begin. Point 1. She feels it when you stop explaining yourself. Here's the first shift. Stop explaining everything. Most men have this reflex to justify every delay, every silence, every decision. Sorry I didn't reply sooner. I wasn't ignoring you. I was just busy. I didn't mean it like that. That's not calm. That's insecurity disguised as politeness. A grounded man doesn't narrate his every move. He doesn't fill silence with reassurance. He lets his presence do the talking, and his decisions stand on their own. If she's confused, she can ask. If she assumes, let her. You're not in court. You're not begging for understanding. In fact, the less you explain, the more she leans in. Because mystery activates emotion, and emotion creates memory. She won't obsess over what's obvious. She obsesses over what she can't quite figure out. And that's the power of staying still. Point 2. You don't chase. You attract with stillness. Here's the truth most men miss. Attraction isn't about the chase. It's about gravity. When you chase, you signal lack. It says, I need her to feel valuable. But when you stop chasing, when you root yourself in calm, focused stillness, something changes. Not in her, in you. You stop seeking attention. You start becoming the kind of man who naturally draws it. You're not loud. You're not needy. You're just unshakably present. And that presence, it's rare. Stillness creates curiosity. It makes her mind circle back to you. Why doesn't he need validation? Why isn't he trying to impress me? That's when attraction shifts from something you're chasing to something you're commanding. You didn't become distant. You became unpredictable. And that's when she starts leaning in, wondering what makes you so different. Point 3. Calm men interrupt her pattern. Most guys react. She pulls away, they chase. She gets cold, they overcompensate. She tests, they explain, justify, beg for clarity. But the calm man, he breaks the pattern. She sends a snarky text, he smiles, says nothing. She grows distant, he gives her space. No drama, no emotional spirals, just presence and silence. That stillness, it doesn't just confuse her, it disarms her. Because now, for the first time, she's not in control of the emotional rhythm. She's not getting the response she expected. And that silence, it forces reflection not on you, but on her. A calm man doesn't punish. He simply refuses to play the emotional chess game. And that right there, it shakes her more than any argument ever could. Because deep down, she realizes, he's not reacting to me. I'm reacting to him. Point 4. Your presence is power. You don't need to fill every silence. You don't need to perform. But watch most guys, the second the conversation dips, they panic. They start rambling, cracking jokes, trying too hard to fix the vibe. That's not charm. That's anxiety. A calm man doesn't fear silence. He owns it. He doesn't talk just to keep her attention. His presence alone carries weight. Solid, unbothered, rooted. And here's what happens. She starts leaning in. She becomes more expressive. She opens up not because you forced her to, but because you didn't. You've created a space that feels safe, a space where she doesn't have to perform either. No words, no pressure, just the power of a man who's fully at peace with himself. And in that silence, she hears you loudest. Point 5. You set the emotional tone. Here's something most men never realize. Whoever controls the emotional tone controls the room. If she's anxious and you get anxious too, she leads. If she's cold and you get reactive, she owns the frame. You're not leading, you're following. But when you stay centered, calm, clear, unshaken, you shift everything. You walk in without tension and the entire mood changes. She slows down. She softens. She starts matching you. That's not control, that's influence. That's leadership without needing to speak a word. A calm man doesn't chase emotional highs or react to every shift. He anchors the space. He decides the tone, and whether she realizes it or not, she starts moving at your rhythm. Point 6. Calm men handle tests without flinching. Let's be honest, women test men, not to be cruel, but to feel safe. She'll say something sharp, try to make you jealous, act distant, just to see what you'll do. Most guys fail right there. They get emotional, defensive, start overthinking every word and spiraling into insecurity. But a calm man, he doesn't flinch, because he knows it's not personal, it's instinct. It's her way of asking, are you solid? Can I trust your strength? So he stays grounded. Maybe he smiles, shrugs, changes the subject, keeps the vibe light and steady. No drama, no need to prove anything. And that's what gets her, because when she sees you can't be shaken, her defenses drop, her respect rises, and the emotional bond starts to deepen. Fast. Calm is more than control, it's quiet dominance. Point 7. Stillness makes her chase. Here's the twist no one talks about. The less you do, the more she does. When you stop trying to impress her, she starts trying to impress you. When you stop asking where things are going, she starts wondering where she stands. Because stillness isn't weakness, it's power. Feminine energy is drawn to stable, grounded masculine presence. It wants to be pulled in, gently, steadily, by something it can't shake. When you go still, she moves, not because you forced it, but because your calm becomes a quiet gravity. You're not manipulating, you're magnetizing, all from self-trust, from not needing her to validate who you are. And when she feels that you're not chasing her, she starts chasing the feeling you create. So remember, in a world full of noise, the man who moves the least often moves her the most. Point 8. Calm men don't rush connection, they let it build. Most guys rush intimacy. They want to go deep fast, share everything, know everything, feel everything instantly. But calm men, they don't rush connection, they let it build. They understand that trust isn't earned through pressure, it's grown through presence. So instead of pushing for closeness, they let it unfold. They leave room for mystery, for natural tension, for real depth to emerge on its own. When you don't rush her, she relaxes. When you stop trying to make something happen, something real happens. You become the safe space. You're not forcing energy, you're allowing it. And that's exactly when she feels the strongest pull. Because true intimacy isn't about getting there fast, it's about feeling safe enough to arrive slowly. Point 9. Calm men know when to walk away. Here's the difference between need and power. A calm man is not afraid to leave. He doesn't beg. He doesn't argue. He doesn't try to fix someone who keeps crossing lines. Why? Because he respects himself more than the relationship. He knows his boundaries. And when those lines are crossed, he walks quietly, completely. Not to manipulate, not to punish, but because staying in chaos betrays his peace, and that's a price he never pays. That kind of calm, it's rare, and it's magnetic. Because when a woman sees a man walk away without noise, without drama, without needing closure, she starts to question everything. Sometimes your silence after walking away speaks louder than 1,000 emotional explanations. A calm man never begs to be chosen. He chooses himself, and that changes everything. She doesn't want more noise. She's drawn to the one man who stays calm when others chase, the one who doesn't try to prove, because his presence speaks louder than words. So if this video sparks something in you, if you're done chasing and ready to become the one she can't stop thinking about, then it's time. Like this video to anchor the message. Comment the trait of calm masculinity you're working on right now. And subscribe to Factsworth. Because every week, we drop sharp, psychology-backed insights to level up your inner power and presence. Factsworth isn't just a channel. It's the mindset of the men who lead without chasing. We'll see you in the next one. Stay calm, stay grounded, stay powerful.